I was looking for the truth. It took me 10 freaking years. The way that I looked at it is the South had to be a lie. If the Earth is flat, the South can't be inverse or the opposite of the North. That's what a sphere does. For 10 years, I've been teaching flat Earth under the assumption or the prerequisite that the South was a lie. Okay, let me go down there. Let me take a look at the sky down there. Let me look at the South Celestial Pole, see if it actually moves. Just all kinds of questions I had. So I went and then saw that the South is exactly as described. I had pretty much no choice but to come back and say that we were wrong, because if the South isn't expanding plane like you expect it to be, if there is a South Pole, if there is a South Celestial Pole, sun setting right to left for people in the South rather than we see it in the North go left to right, pretty cut and dry. The Earth is a sphere. No longer have any doubts.
Are you really still deceived by these deceivers? Let's see if I can help you out a little bit.
I love this video because it looks like animation, like something that somebody made, but it's actually real footage from the space shuttle, just sped up just a little bit. This looks like animation, and I'm very proud to know that it's actually real film. It's not a video game. People are living there. I know this looks like animation, but it's actually really real. I love this video because it looks like animation. It doesn't look real, but it is.
See if this from Austin Whitsitt seems familiar to you, almost like they're trained in the same school of deception.
I know this may be hard to believe, okay? You guys give me feedback and make sure you can hear me. We are in Antarctica, I can assure you. These are the mountains in Antarctica. Guess what? These are also mountains in Antarctica. These are all mountains in Antarctica.
So there's the space station. I love that this is not animation. This is film taken by a shuttle of the space station. And so this is real. It's not animation.
I can assure you this is where we are. We are clearly in Antarctica. Clearly in Antarctica. Clearly in Antarctica. Because after a couple hours, we began to be over that continent.
I just want to talk about the video that everyone's freaking out that Will Duffy made, showing signs of using a green screen. Everyone's saying they're not in Antarctica. They're clearly in Antarctica. They're clearly in Antarctica. They're clearly in Antarctica. So we got fittest flat earther who's called me out for being a shill because, in my hands when I was saying, it's a Knickerbocker thing, and I went like this, right? And that therefore I'm a Mason because I did that. He wants to ask me about my Freemason pose when we took the picture with Rob Skiba, Bob Nodal, Jaron, Mark Sargent, Karen B. We're all at this conference.
This one right here, where they're all doing it, in literally the sign for a Master Mason is that exact thing. Oh, and I'll show you what Jaron has to say in a minute.
We're all at this conference. We're taking the first group photo ever of the big flat earthers, right? All the big channels. And we're all there. And when someone goes, we need to come up with a hand signal to represent flat earth. Guys, real quick, you know nothing about Freemasonry. What hand signal would you do to represent flat earth? Would you go like this? No, you'd go like that. Okay, and we all did that. Everyone's like almost all of us did it. We're like, yeah, that's it. And we took a picture like that. We took a picture like that, right? And so that to a fittest flat earther is proof that I'm a Mason, right? Some people are retarded.
I'm discussing the final experiment here, so...
No, Dave, that's not proof. That's just one piece of the puzzle of literally dozens upon dozens of pieces of evidence that point to that exact fact. And when I find Rob Skiba alive and well, who supposedly died of COVID, it will confirm everything I'm saying. Just give me about a week. And if you know me, you know I'll find him. Oh, and notice he got angry and called me the R word. You know who does that? Narcissistic liars that get caught. They turn to anger and name calling.
But then I would sound like, Tyler saying that, I'm good friends with Alex Jones and I pretend I didn't know him when I met him for the first time. So I don't want to say that, but to not think that everyone in that place was in on it is naive.
I watched Dave with my very own eyes pretend to not know Alex Jones in this episode of InfoWars after he had already been on this episode of InfoWars. And did you hear what Dave said? It's naive to think that everyone there wasn't in on it. that would be referring to Jaron and Austin as well. He was literally talking about everyone at Antarctica.
Wait, hold on a second. Casey Lear is saying that I'm flip-flopping. I said, trust our best flat earth guys. And now I'm saying they're questionable?
I was literally watching this live with Dave on it and in the chat, and he verbatim said, like I just showed, if anyone was there, they were in on it. And then he's saying, trust our best flat earth guys, meaning Jaron, meaning Austin. So which is it, Dave? Trust them or they're in on it?
Everyone's saying they're not in Antarctica. They're clearly in Antarctica.
Damn it. We are clearly in Antarctica. Clearly in Antarctica. Clearly in Antarctica. Because
And so this is real. It's not animation. Now, this looks like animation, and I'm very proud to know that it's actually real film. It's not a video game.
They're clearly in Antarctica.
you know, I'm sitting right here telling you that it's real. And so if all of a sudden I'm an actor, I'm a shill, whatever, you're just ridiculous. We are clearly in Antarctica.
Are you sure about that, Austin? Because you sure seem to want to say it a lot. Are you sure?
Breaking news. In less than 24 hours, technicians have been able to identify the technology used to fake the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Amazon Studios has developed a state-of-the-art virtual production facility known as Stage 15, located in Culver City, California. This advanced soundstage features an impressive LED volume wall, a massive curved LED screen measuring 80 feet in diameter and 26 feet in height. The LED wall comprises approximately 3,000 LED panels and is equipped with Hun motion capture cameras, enabling dynamic and immersive backgrounds for film and television production. This studio can be transported and set up at any location around the world. Since there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica, the only manner Pastor Will Duffy had to fake a 24-hour sun was to take advantage of Amazon and Disney movie-making capacity. A combination of movie studio and a real trip to Antarctica and Hollywood editing process will make this fraud almost impossible to be detected, spread the world far and wide.
And just to put a little bow on this gift I'm giving to all of you to gain this discernment from these deceivers is, look, Austin even had Wi-Fi. You want to see how easy it would be to prove they were in Antarctica? Austin was live streaming. All he literally had to do was open up his map and show his little blue dot right in Antarctica, right where they were supposed to be. Questions done. No one could even question that. But did he do that? Of course not.
David Weiss, Hibbler himself, and Jaron specifically here, and their disdain for Jesus Christ. Make no mistake about it. They are all Antichrist at work here, presenting themselves as truthers. Let's take a look.
I don't believe in Christianity. Jesus Christ can suck my dick.
When the book of the law is studied, it can be seen to be a set of ciphers and riddles meant to conceal the lost words of the Temple of Solomon, which Crowley claimed to have discovered while researching the Zohar and Freemasonry. So in my mind, anyone who dismisses reading any of his work is not really looking for the truth.
So you just heard there from Jaron himself those very blasphemous statements about Jesus Christ, but he praises Crowley. Unbelievable. People can't see through Jaron. They never will. Let's take a listen to David Weiss with his garbage Moral Lands map. Unproven, just made up nonsense, and obviously non-biblical. Let's take a listen here what David Weiss has to say about Jesus Christ.
The story of Jesus and many other religious figures have the exact same story. They were born on the same day. You know, they died and they were reborn 3 days later, which is the story of the sun hitting the solstice and then coming back. Jesus walked on water. Well, if you go down to the ocean and watch the sunset, the sun walks on the water right to your feet. And if you, Sophia, are standing, 100 yards or a mile down the beach, the sun walks on water right to you. So there is your personal relationship with the sun, the S-O-N, the S-U-N. There's so many things that they say about Jesus. Jesus was the light of the world, the giver of life. There's so many things that you can relate to the sun. And then when I was talking with Jaron, he's the one that pointed out to me that the new sun is born in the north.
Whole point is, you see Jaron, David Weiss on the same page. Basically, David Weiss is stating how Jesus Christ is basically made up. Here again is David Weiss with Hibbler. Now let's take a listen to what Hibbler has to say about Jesus Christ. You're going to see that all these individuals are on the same page with the Satanists that run this world. They want you to believe that Jesus Christ does not exist. And that is the lie, the biggest lie of the world, along with hiding God's creation of this flat dome world we live on. And these people are nothing more than sellouts, playing the role and flipping the script when called upon. Let's take a listen to what Hibbler has to say right here regarding Jesus Christ.
It's religion. So they had organized religion stuff with different, this one has this God, this one has this God, this one has a guy that walked on water apparently.
Walked on water apparently, obviously talking about Jesus Christ, mocking Jesus Christ. And like I said, these are all deceivers working for the other side. And as many know, I've been calling out these fake flat earthers for the longest time. And people are coming to the same conclusion that I came to long ago regarding these individuals. Can't be more clear. I can't make it more clear. And in their own words, and with the signs and symbols.
And none of this was for entertainment purposes.
We got David. Oh, I know David Beverly. Jesus, music freak, Jesus freak, or something. What's it called? Sorry.
I have been sitting here for a while.
My bad.
It's been an interesting conversation, man.
Okay, it's fun.
One of the things I like about you, Jaron, is your demeanor.
Thank you.
Your delivery. Seriously. If you know anything about me, I think that it's pointless to argue and fight.
Good.
No one wins in a fight.
Correct.
No one. Having a comeuppance on someone, thinking that you look better because you put them down is absurd, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I hope that you do more of these live like this. I kind of hope I would have been able to get in a little earlier, because you
believe in Christianity. Jesus Christ can suck my dick.
The final non-experiment with these goobers who are in a studio with shadows changing directions. Look at McToon's shadow. Look where it starts off from. Look where it ends up. It flips. I'm sorry, but isn't the sun meant to be 93 million miles away? Look at the shadow length getting longer as he walks away. Get dominated, glyphs. Have fun explaining that one.
Okay, a big thanks to No Fanfare for making this discovery. The source of the video you're watching right now comes directly from TFE's channel as an alleged live broadcast at midnight, supposedly showing a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. But I found this discovery from No Fanfare very interesting. It seems that there was some sort of green screen malfunction that occurred during this supposed live video from Antarctica. I don't know what else you would call it. Notice how the TFE watermark right here is interacting very strangely with the edges of the patch on the jacket. But that watermark shouldn't do that, and it only shows up for that one patch on that jacket. I certainly think the video is now suspect. So, what does this fact mean? If it were real, why would they fake any of it? Think for yourself, but don't put your faith in men who can be corrupted. What's also interesting is what Flat Earth Banjo mentioned here in the comments. According to Eddie, the live broadcast at supposedly midnight was actually live at 9 o'clock p.m. local time.
really pay attention to the dance that is going to happen in front of us. Here come some individuals, nice shadows. Okay, they don't seem to be leaving footprints though. Wherever they walk, wherever they dance, they are not leaving footprints in the snow to prove that they were actually on the snow. Now, there's a lot of people are pointing out evidence that this is fabricated. Was it now? My thoughts is that there was a 360 degree base layer that was created for this augmentable scenery. You could start out with a base layer that you film in 360 degrees. Some of it you can actually record things that are happening, and you can see people that are, leaving their tracks in the snow. But once you have this 360 degree base layer, you can now augment your scenes by adding more layers, sequencing them to match up with reference points.